Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about grid computing. In this 21st century, we all have stepped into such a modern era of technology where most of our things are computer or machine based, I can say. And each day we are moving forward to discover more things and carry out other researches. But somewhere in all these things, there's a strong need to improve and develop the collaboration or exchange of data between people. So as you all might already be knowing about the World Wide Web, that is now abbreviated as WWW, which was created in early 90s. And the reason behind its creation was to help the exchange of some documents between particle physicists of that time, who were collaborating experiments from different parts of the world. But no sooner this World Wide Web turned to cover every aspect of our lives. So this was a problem in the earlier times that was tackled very well by the people of that time. In the following years, researchers faced a similar problem. Physicists, biologists, and meteorologists need to run very heavy calculations that involve a large amount of data. It takes days altogether to complete such tasks. Now, how do you calculate or perform these large calculations? Your answer would be by using a supercomputer. But what if you don't have a supercomputer? Or you don't have enough funds to buy a computer? What will you do in that case? So now our question is there any way where you can use or have the power of a supercomputer without owning one? And the answer is yes, you can, with the help of grid computing. So what is grid computing? It is the use of widely distributed computer resources to reach a common goal. I used the term computer resources. What does it mean? Computer resources includes the processing power of your computer and resources like disk storage, databases, and other software applications. The grid allows sharing of your computer power and resources to the bigger mainframe. Whenever CPU of your device is spare or is not currently needed for your system, the bigger mainframe uses the processing power of your computer. So these computers can be distributed all across the world, but they are connected by networks and can collaborate the power of hundreds of computers in a single place. While an ordinary computer may take days or weeks to complete a complex scientific calculation, the grid will get the same work done faster and in a more effective manner. So basically there are three terms, namely cluster computing, grid computing, and cloud computing. And most of the time people get confused with these three terms because their function is quite similar to each other. But obviously there is a difference between these three terms. So let us understand these three concepts with the help of a short story. And this story would give you an overview of all these three concepts and help them understand better. So I am a software engineer in some firm and my chief officer has assigned me a task. But what I have is only a laptop, which is not having enough storage and processing power to carry out the assigned task. I have three of my friends who stay nearby and I decide to ask them for help. Three of them own a computer and are ready to give me their computers to complete my assigned work. So I connect all the four computers together at my home and get the work done. So this is an example of cluster computing, where all the computers are physically connected to each other and are sharing their resources. So let's get back to the story. I submit the assigned work to my boss and am appreciated as well. But the sad part that I am assigned with another task the next day which requires even large storage and is to be completed within the time allotted. So now I'm confused with what to do next. So I make a phone call to my brother expressing my concern, and he suggests me to go for grid computing, as he won't be able to get his PC to my home to increase the size of my cluster. So with the help of grid, I connect all of our computers that are located at far off places. Now my ordinary laptop can easily access the resources of all the PCs I am connected to and starts performing faster. So finally, I get my work done. Once again, I successfully submit the assigned task and get lots of appreciation from my seniors. But as it is said, the more you work, the more they get you working. And the next assigned task is to be completed even faster and at a larger scale. Though the task seems almost impossible to me, but thinking of my boss, I somehow will have to get the work done. So once again, I dial my brother and ask for his help. Now he says, I'd rather go for cloud computing, where a cloud provider will give me access to technology services like computing power, storage database, and other applications. So instead of buying, owning, and maintaining a physical data center and its resources, I can get my work completed with the help of cloud computing. So far, we came across cluster, grid, and cloud computing. But the question is, which one of them should we choose to get our work done in the best way possible? So let's have a small comparison between all the three. Talking of security and safety, your first priority should be cluster, then grid, and then cloud computing. Because in cluster computing, all the devices are your own and are under your own surveillance. Next is homogeneity of the devices. In cluster computing, all your devices need to have the same hardware to get connected and make a cluster, whereas in cloud and grid, there is no such condition. And finally, if processing power is your first priority, then your first option should be cloud, then grid, and then cluster computing. Because the computers in grid and cluster can be connected to a certain limit only. Coming back to the story, I finalize my assigned task and present it to the senior men of my office. And finally, I get promoted. So this was all about grid computing. I hope it helped you get the basic idea of this term.